back after a couple of weeks. And I will say this, it's been really difficult these last few weeks with this corona bioweapon release. Bottom line is, it's hard to think about investing when you have to look into surviving. And you look at the whole world. I mean, this is something that we have not seen. The planet is pretty much shut down. Who could ever imagine this? How do you invest in that? Now, apparently, it supposedly is a good opportunity, but how do you even know that this market is going to ever recover and there's not going to be a total collapse? So it is just very difficult. So in that case, I really have not put much more into this particular account or any accounts. In fact, even on my retirement, I froze that for now. Is that the best thing to do? I don't know. But I tell you what, right now, the best thing to do is invest in your security because people are buying supplies left and right. You cannot even find a roll of toilet paper in any stores. Food shortage is going to come. I mean, everybody is stocking up on food, and it's gotten so bad where guns have been sold out all over the place. What is about to happen here? Is this crazy or what? So how do you focus on investing? So that's a tough one. Anybody got any answers? Let me know. Send me an email. Put a message, a comment in this video below. I don't have an answer for you. I have as much uncertainty as everyone else. And in that time frame, I made some changes. I am deciding to get rid of completely Robinhood. So I sold all my assets in Robinhood. I'm going to move them into M1 Invest. And the reason is I like the way M1 Invest works now that I understand this pie system a little better. So as you can see, I restructured all of my holdings here. Before I had 4 REITs. Here I actually moved those REITs into a pie or slice called REITs. So if we look at this, we can see 4 REITs in here at 25% each. Now actually I had 5, but I will tell you something. NRZ was a little disappointing, so I ended up selling out all holdings from NRZ from this account plus my Robinhood account. And the reason is this. If we go to Seeking Alpha and we search NRZ, and we go to dividends, here it is. What's the date today? Is March 27th. And the ex-dividend date says 12/30/2019. This is the last one. Payout 130. When is the next payout? This should be 330, and the payout should be 430 or so. But there has been no notice that there is a dividend payout date. One thing I learned from being in planning in IT is that one thing you do is you plan on what you know. And right now, we know nothing about getting paid in dividends. Therefore, there must be some issue going on, and if there isn't, the fact they didn't update this is enough for me to just say forget it. I sold it all. I'm done. Price is dropping. Okay. I would deal with that as long as they're paying a dividend, but I don't see any signs that a dividend is coming next. So I sold it. End of story. It divided up. Here I may focus more into CXW, and the reason is CXW they announced their dividend date 3/31, so I'd have to make this purchase before then. Payout date is in like 15 days. 44 cents a share. That's pretty good. That's what I'm talking about. So they announce it. We know it. You know you're going to get paid. Fine. We stick with it. So NRZ is out of my portfolio, period. Done. As we can see, I got a few more dollars in dividend payments, but my market gains are down, way down. It's a huge drop. And what I did is I took advantage of this slice. I got 3 slices here, each one divided up. This one is divided up into retail. So I added Costco. Costco is going crazy right now with this Corona uh, apocalypse going on, and I added Walmart. Um, Also, I added a technology slice where I added Microsoft, Apple, AT&T, Intuit, Alibaba, ServiceNow, and Amazon. And so basically, my investment is being diversified across the spectrum here, and this has been a big boost. I actually feel much more comfortable with this. So the money that I'm moving from Robinhood is going to be deposited here soon, and I may focus it on just the one CXW REIT that we were talking about, or I may just let it go across the whole investment pie. We'll figure that out. I'm not really sure which I'm going to do, but I got till Monday to figure it out. So, no rush. But that is basically my new setup here, is use the whole slicing system that is set up in this M1. It's actually, when you have a disaster like this and you see your money drop, this diversity is a little more comforting. And it's tough to buy in this situation, but again, this is probably the best time to buy. I may put a little more, but I'm not going to invest everything, because one thing you must do is, at this point, I see a lot of folks planning their own food and for an upcoming, and basically preparing for an upcoming food shortage. So, I mean, there may be other things a little more important than worrying about investments at this time. But again, on the other hand, you don't want to completely abandon this, because if you do invest and let's say the market is all recover, you could make out pretty good. So you tell me, this is a tough situation. This is real life. What do you really do in this scenario? And if we all had a crystal ball, we would all know. But, you know, this is a tough one. No one can predict the future, and no one can predict what's going to happen. But I made some adjustments along the way, and that is where I'm at this point in time. So this is Thomas Ledger. Please subscribe to this channel, and I will try to put out another video shortly. But apologize for taking so long, but it's been a tough few weeks. I'm sure a lot of you can understand that one. Okay, let's go back to our spreadsheet, where we are trying to figure out how to pay our bills with dividends. I had to make some adjustments in the last spreadsheet that I created. Put values and different things like that in there and I kind of took that out this time to make this a little simpler and focus on how much of a payout you get based on the number of shares. As the costs vary, I don't really want to keep that in this spreadsheet. You can just go look that up yourself and seeking alpha or any other site that tracks the price. But right now, when the price is down, I tell you what, to own the 400 shares here, it's a lot cheaper than it was, let's say a couple weeks ago when I started this. So this will be an actual bargain to buy and to get this type of income. So in a downpour, you literally can buy, and as long as the companies and stocks basically keep the same dividends without reducing them, you're basically getting more money, more bang for your buck, really. So what we're looking at here is the 4 REITs that I have in the pie for the REITs in M1, my M1 account. And here are the symbols. This is Civic, Realty, BTR, LTC. And I just use the arbitrary 100 shares. These are the dividend prices for each one that they pay out each quarter or month. This is the dividend frequency, quarterly payouts and monthly. So 2 of them pay monthly, 2 pay quarterly. And so if we look at our dividend payout for 100 shares, or during the interval or the frequency, this is the amount of money you get. $44 for CXW, 23, 79, 19. Now this 5% I put here is for wiggle room. In other words, let's say you make an error, you better 5% will help you out in that case. Plus, as you pay your bills, it should always increase at some point, your asset. So adding the 5% wiggle room is great. It allows it to grow while you pay your bills. Next one, 15% income tax. Unless this is coming out of your retirement account, you have to pay around 15% on your dividends. Some cases you may get away with paying less than that or zero, depends on your income bracket. But bottom line, most of us will pay 15%. So I'm accounting for that. And so subtracting these two, this is the net income that you can earn. Earning 100 shares of that is $200 per quarter, and the monthly income is $66. So once you have this set up, that $66 a month can pay something indefinitely. And once you pay that bill off, guess what? You still have a growing asset earning you money. And that's the bottom line here. We're trying to set up a vehicle to pay a bill indefinitely, continue to grow, and eliminate you from having to work for the money and let the money work for you, and you earn while sleeping. That's the concept. So now that we restructured the M1 Finance, what I want to do is focus on building the certain stocks to then pay that first bill that we were referring to. So let's go and do that. Now that you understand that, this is the calculation that we are going to go with from this point, unless we decide to come up with something that works a little better. But right now, this is a good view and makes it easy for you to see and understand how much you need in order to, how many shares you need to own in order to pay what you want to pay. And you literally can go through your whole portfolio, lay this out, and all of your expenses, and get to the point where you figure, how much do I need to pay all of my bills? And once you get to that point, you are financially independent. So we will work towards those goals through these trying times and continue. And thank you for watching this video. This is Thomas Ledger. Please subscribe below.